the most emotional experience that a person can go through, to know that what they're working on is something that has reached a
HD TV on the wall. Who's the fairest one of all?
You would do in a pinch, my queen. But Snow White's the fairest I have seen. Also, there's a weather girl on Channel 9 who's...
Buckle up, folks, because The Simpsons, those yellow-skinned, razor-tongued titans of TV, unleashed a parody so vicious it's got Tinseltown trembling and Rachel Zegler's name splattered across the wreckage like graffiti on a burning billboard. Snowwoke. The reimagining isn't just a cartoon jab, it's cultural guillotine, and Rachel's head is rolling. Disney's Snow White remake didn't just flop, it imploded. And now The Simpsons has turned the ashes into a savage roast that's got the internet cackling and Hollywood clutching its pearls. Grab your popcorn and let's dive into the juiciest pop culture massacre of 2025. Picture this: The Simpsons, the undisputed champs of satire, drop a bombshell episode that lights the internet on fire. Snowwoke is a merciless slaughter.
Are there any dwarves in your story?
Yes, but they're my own original creation. There's Krabby, Drunky, Hungry, Greedy, Lenny,
Kearney,
and Doc, Tor Hibbert.
Princess with Rachel Zegler's dark locks and lecture-heavy vibe. No prince, no charm. Just a movie that crashes harder than a drunk driver in a demolition derby.
I just mean that it's no longer 1937, and we absolutely wrote a Snow White that is
Not gonna be saved by the prince.
She's not going to be saved by the prince, and she's not going to be dreaming about true love. She's dreaming about becoming the leader she knows she can be. There's a big focus on her love story with a guy who literally stalks her.
Yeah.
Weird.
Super weird.
So we didn't do that this time.
The target? Rachel Zegler's Snow White. And they didn't just poke her, they gutted her with a grin. Insiders spill that Rachel lost it, like full-on scream-at-the-walls meltdown. She allegedly blew up her team's phones, demanding Disney, Fox, anybody yank the episode or at least erase her cartoon clone. She wasn't asking nicely, she wanted it obliterated. But Fox? They slapped her with a cold, "Nah, it's satire, it's done, deal with it." One source smirked, "This is The Simpsons, not your DMs." The episode was locked, ratings were soaring, and Rachel was left choking on the fumes of a parody that didn't just sting, it drew blood. The internet didn't just react, it detonated. Social media became a gladiator arena of memes, shade, and viral carnage. TikToks flooded in, stitching Rachel's cringy Snow White interviews, where she called the 1937 classic weird and the prince a creepy stalker, next to Krusty the Clown face-planting at a fake press conference, groaning, "Make her stop talking." It was brutal, relentless, and straight up legendary. Her sound bites like, "It's not 1937, Snow White's here to lead, not love," were memed into oblivion, looped with the cartoon princess's sanctimonious rants. Comments were a bloodbath. Did The Simpsons steal her diary for this? One user snarked. Another hissed, "This ain't parody, it's a damn biography." Hashtag Rachel Z skyrocketed, but not for a new gig or a redemption arc, for being The Simpsons' latest punching bag. Once they roast you, you're not just a joke, you're a tombstone in pop culture's graveyard. Fans and haters piled on, sharing clips, reaction vids, and savage edits. It was a digital lynching, and Rachel was buried under the rubble. Let's rewind to how this train wreck started. Rachel Zegler, fresh off West Side Story, was Disney's golden ticket, cast as Snow White, poised to be Hollywood's next darling. This should have been her crown, her moment to shine. Instead, she lit a match and burned it all down. The backlash wasn't about costumes or CGI, it was Rachel's mouth. In interviews, she trashed the 1937 Snow White, sneering it was weird and outdated. She called the prince a stalker and bragged her Snow White wasn't chasing love. She was all about power, leadership, and girl boss energy. To some, it felt bold. To most, it was smug, like she was spitting on a fairy tale she was paid millions to revive. Fans of the original were livid, and the internet bared its fangs. Then came the social media disaster. A Free Palestine tweet dropped mid-press tour, blindsiding everyone. Another clip had her snapping, "Don't like my views? Unfollow me." Press junkets with Gal Gadot were Arctic-level awkward. Rachel clammed up, and the vibe screamed disaster. Every word fanned the flames, and instead of backing off, she doubled down. The result? A PR apocalypse even Disney's fairy godmothers couldn't fix. The fallout was cataclysmic. Snow White didn't just bomb, it belly-flopped into infamy. Theaters were emptier than a ghost town, with YouTubers filming themselves in barren rows, cackling about the Snow White boycott. Box office numbers were so pathetic they became memes.
Literally the only person there. And Do you not understand how humiliating this is?
For the first time, a Disney live-action remake wasn't just a dud. It was a laughingstock, a trending hashtag for all the wrong reasons. The internet churned out content like a wildfire. Snow White, the flop that broke Disney, one video screamed. Another YouTuber gloated, Disney bet millions and nobody cared. When The Simpsons cooked up Snowwoke, they didn't need to make stuff up. They just scrolled X. Their parody Princess Band's love turns fairy tales into TED Talks and demands more pay while her movie tanks and her co-stars vanish. It's not just a dig at Rachel's acting, it's a flamethrower aimed at her entire persona. Every viral misquote, every stumble that turned a rising star into a cultural punching bag. The writers didn't embellish, they condensed, and that's why it hit like a sledgehammer. Let's dissect Snowwoke, the reimagining, because this wasn't a jab, it was a public execution. The Simpsons didn't tiptoe. They stormed in with a Molotov cocktail and a cackle. The parody princess, Rachel's animated doppelganger, hijacks a press junket spewing condescending lectures about feminism, equity, and smashing patriarchal tropes.
This bed's too hard. This bed's too soft. And this bed is just like the first one. Also too hard. I guess I'll sleep in the one that's too soft.
She brands the prince a toxic creep, calls the dwarfs capitalist pawns, and glares at the camera, snarling. "I'm not here for love, I'm here to rule," Krusty, sweating bullets, mutters. Who cast a TikTok activist? The shade was nuclear. Then comes the premiere. Glitz, glamour, and nobody. The camera pans to empty seats. One lonely viewer claps, mumbles, "Bring back the old Snow White," and bails. The parody film bombs spectacularly, mirroring the real one's corpse. In true Simpsons style, it spirals into chaos. Cartoon Rachel has a meltdown on Krusty's Late Show, yelling at the audience for not getting her vision, before tripping over a stack of fairy tale books she'd labeled trash. It's ruthless, it's brilliant, and it's deeply personal. This isn't satire. It's a twisted mirror showing how the world sees Rachel, a star so obsessed with rewriting the story she forgot to tell one anyone wanted. The internet didn't just laugh, they saluted. Comments flooded in. "This is what we've been screaming." They didn't mock her, they exposed her. The cruelest? Her career just got Simpsoned. That's a scar that doesn't fade. Rachel's response? Dead silence. No tweets, no Instagram sob stories, not even a vague "I'm stronger than the hate" post. Nothing. For someone who never shut up during the Snow White press tour, this was louder than a scream. Behind closed doors, though, sources say she was a volcano. Insiders claim she flipped when she saw the clips, ordering her team to beg Fox to nuke the episode. She called it humiliating, caricature that didn't just mock her, it cemented her as a global joke. Fox laughed it off. It's satire, it's legal, and by the way, the ratings are insane. Clips ruled social media, viewership spiked, and even a rumored Disney plea to soften it got a polite "we're good." For Rachel, this wasn't another hate wave. It was mainstream crucifixion by TV's sharpest show. Her silence didn't read as grace, it read as defeat. You can block a troll, shade a hater, but The Simpsons? That's not a fight, that's folklore. Once they nail you, you're immortalized as a punchline. Fans speculated, is Disney muzzling her? Is her team in crisis mode? Or is Rachel Zegler, for once, out of clapbacks? Silence isn't a plan, it's a white flag. Disney didn't twiddle their thumbs, they moved like lightning. Insiders say they've axed all Snow White promo tied to Rachel. Scheduled appearances? Gone. Panels? Canceled. Ads? Now it's all CGI costumes and Gal Gadot's glow-up, with Rachel's name erased like a bad tattoo. Hollywood's watching, and it's ugly. PR firms are using Rachel's crash as a warning, with one agency's leaked slide showing a Simpsons still under the headline, "When Real Becomes Repellent." Casting directors are slamming the brakes. A Netflix producer reportedly warned, "She's toxic, we'll wait till she's not trending for disaster." A YA reboot quietly cut her from its list. It's not her talent, her voice, her acting, that's still gold. It's the chaos she drags behind her, the backlash that sticks like tar. She's not a star, she's a gamble. PR migraine for studios and brands who want hype, not a hashtag war. The internet turned her pain into a circus. TikToks looped her parodies "I'm here to rule" line, dubbed "Girl Boss Gone Rogue," with millions of views. YouTube reaction vids exploded. One, The Simpsons buried Disney, hit 3 million views in 2 days. Another, Rachel Zegler obliterated, ended with a fake Razzie speech while Krusty slow clapped. An old fake OnlyFans rumor even resurfaced, trending again because people wanted her to be the villain. It wasn't about facts, it was about destruction. Rachel's now the face of everything fans despise. Hollywood ego, disrespect for classics, stars who preach instead of perform. Her words are grenades, her silence is surrender, and no spin doctor can mop up this mess. And that's The Tea, fam. A Simpsons episode that sparked sparked a meme apocalypse, a career that went from golden to gutted, and a question screaming loud, is Rachel Zegler done, or can she claw her way back? If she wants a comeback, it won't be with a glossy rebrand or a quick superhero cameo. She's gotta face the fire, own the mess, prove she hears the hate and can grow, not hide. But right now, it's just silence. And the Simpsons didn't just roast her, they branded her. What's next for Rachel? Drop your takes below, smash that like button, hit subscribe, and turn on notifications for the next pop culture bloodbath.